All right. At this point, I might as well get started. All right. Back on this. Let's see. You close this. I'll leave this up. Bring this out so I can see it. All right, cool. So what's the plan for today? Really simple. I'm just going to, again, I'm still testing things out. I want to see how my mic sounds. I want to see how everything sounds, but I'm going to get into some actual coding today, get back into the habit of it. A few years ago, I think, almost 4 years ago now, I did Twitch stream for a little bit. And the idea of the Twitch stream was to keep myself accountable. I was on the job search, I believe, but I hadn't gotten many offers, or I don't even remember. I think I was working at the time. Yeah, I was working, and I was just trying to keep myself accountable, working on my own projects. And
The lifeline there, which was
whoa, what is that?
Bishop e6,
Oh, is
sure,
this
normal development.
What's that? All right, so that jump scared me. Anyway, like I was saying, so I was on the grind, and I was trying to work on some of my old projects that I had before I got my current job. At the time, it really made sense for me to just sit down and just try to code every single day, just to get myself, keep myself sharp. Now that 4 years later, I'm coming off of this like large stint of not having to go look for a new job, back on it again. But I want to follow some of the lead that I had 4 years ago and try it again. This time around, a lot is different in my life. I have a lot more experience, and really, I'm just going to sit here and document a lot of just, for me, trying to figure out how I'm going to exist in this world with companies using AI to take over software jobs. In my opinion, AI is not going to do the job correctly. There's going to be more people, a huge market of people fixing whatever problems AI brings. One of the things I want to use with this channel and the Twitch stream to do is going to be showcasing how something simple can turn complicated super quickly. It also is going to, just be a guide for me to keep myself accountable as well. I think those things are core enough, or like, at least for me, fun enough to keep me going. I'm going to try to do 1 to 2 hours, maybe 3 hours every day. Probably start 9 p.m., go to 11. I don't know how long the streak is going to last. It's been so hard. I've been trying to do this for a while now. I just decided to boot up the stream without like any actual like preparation today, just to force myself to get on this. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of pseudo like daily grind stuff that I like to do in the beginning of every day, or at least when I'm going to go ahead and start doing my own stuff. So I'm going to switch over and I'm going to start working on, let's go here. I'm going to play a little bit of chess. Now, chess in particular, I'm actually very happy to get back into this. I'm going to eventually grind out chess to get my skills back, to try to play in a tournament. But more than that, I have an idea for something I want to work on with chess. And it's going to stem from some of the projects that I've started and I've always wanted to continue. So each day I'm going to try to do one chess game and sit down, analyze it, take my time. Let me just make sure it's good. Hold on, I'm gonna abandon this guy. Sorry, buddy. Abort. It's so odd not having. Let me pull out some of the stuff. Again, yeah, this is why also just starting is best. I'm just gonna try to get myself to get used to streaming again. I don't have the same setup I had before. Much smaller setup and a little bit more difficult. But we'll see here. Okay, so yeah, here is just showing my screen, so I don't want that. I wanted something to be able to see what I'm doing. I might have to fix that next time, but it's okay. Leave it here. Let me try one last thing. That's weird. It's supposed to hide all this stuff, but whatever. Doesn't matter. I'll just go through it and simulate what it would be like. So yes, I'm on software development, but I'm also going to be trying out some of this stuff. So can I make this always on top? That would be great. Huh. No, I cannot. Let me just get one of these. And then there we go, because this is important. I cannot be without this. Should be okay. There we go. Cool. Okay. So get started. We'll just play 1 3-minute game. And yeah, again, we're trying to keep our skills sharp. Probably gonna have to work through and do some puzzles as well. I think one of my strengths when I was actually playing chess was my opening skills, but lately I haven't really been playing at all, so I don't really know what I'm doing half the time with these openings. I'm okay with this trade here. And I'm still learning some of the stuff. I've actually noticed, because I've been playing chess.com over the years, I haven't really been trying. There's been times where I get super high, like my highest, and then there's times like now where I'm like at my lowest. But what I was really strong at before was my opening. Sorry, not my opening, excuse me, my tactics. And over the years, as you get, you know, older, it does kind of wane, but to that same effect, I do think that there is a general thought that once you get to a certain age, you really can't compete in chess. And that is something I want to tackle with a few. I want to use my skills to try to tackle that kind of mindset. I don't like the idea that, okay, now I'm 30 and I can't play chess anymore because competitively, because I'm too old. All these people are going to be way quicker to come up with ideas. But what I've noticed is I've gotten more mature in my view of the game than when I was at my peak. My peak wasn't even that great. It was like, what, I was 2000 in classical. And then I went to college and I kind of gave up the chess grind for a bit. Here we have, I want to bring my queen in here. We have a little bit of some tactics I'm going to have to pull here. I think we go here and this. If he goes back here, okay, he goes there. I kind of want to pull him in. I think I can make him like this, but I don't see it yet. I mean, is there even a point to doing all that? I could just check, bring him back down. Goes here. This is hanging. Come back here, check. He goes here. Check. No, bring him in and then force him. Ah, I played that so quickly. I mean, keep it going, right? It's gonna go here, right? I think I need to play this to get more of my pieces in the game. That's fine, because now I could play here. It's gotta go to some of these squares. It's running out of squares now. This, I think that's mate. Almost, or we're getting closer. This, and then he goes here. And check, queen blocks, knight here, mate. Cool. So one of the things I do enjoy about this day and age, when I was growing up and I was playing chess, we didn't have all of these computers like readily available to us. There was computers, right? I think Deep Blue had beat Gary already. Let me see. When did Deep, I think that was in the 70s, right? Am I going crazy? Beat Kasparov. I think they did in like, oh, 97. Okay. So yeah, obviously I was 3 or 2 when Deep Blue beat Gary Kasparov. So computers were still getting strong when I was playing. But let's see here. Trying to decide, do I want to... I'm going to review this game. Mostly I'm going to review the openings. But yeah, I'm going to need to sit down and probably do a lot of puzzle work to get my tactics back up and running. Anyway, let's just take a look. I think I did everything okay, right? So what, this is the Slav, I'm assuming. I wish it showed me somewhere where this was. Like, simply. I don't want to hit explain. I go to openings, what happens? You tend to struggle with the opening. Focus on the basics, knights, and bishops and castles. Okay, buddy. Okay, so what is it? Used to tell me like it was a Slav defense or something, but why is it not doing that right now? So here's an example, like you get AI and now things get worse, right? All right, so here, maybe I'm missing it somewhere. Maybe it's in the settings. It's too many settings, man. Whatever. We'll go back. I'm just gonna review this game. I know that this is Slav. From the little bit of knowledge I do know. Knight here is simple. He goes here, and then I play this. Apparently, this is called modern defense, from what I saw. Briefly, when I was like playing the actual game itself. I've seen this a lot, this pattern here. I don't think this is the right play anyway. I knew as I was playing it, this was going to be wrong. But what is the best move here? Hold on, maybe I could do analysis here. How do I get out of here? Highlights. Review. No, click this. There we go. Okay, this is, I think, is what I was looking for. Let's go all the way back. Analysis, good. Evaluation bar, suggestion arrows, move. Okay. Cool. Now we're getting somewhere. So D4, C, okay. D5, yeah, Slav defense. And then here is a modern line, I guess. This is fine, and I play this. So this is an inaccuracy according to them. Knight F6 is best. And then I play what? Knight C3. Yeah, that's normally what I'm used to. This is best here. I've seen this a lot. Bishop F5 is wrong. Bishop C8 is best. I've seen people actually do that against me when I'm playing. I guess it's also to like make sure to cover this square. This is what you're giving up once you bring out the bishop in these positions. And the Queen's Gambit declined or accepted, whatever, doesn't matter. Once this bishop comes out, this square becomes super weak. And you tend to face like some positions where the queens are just kind of staring at each other, but taking is never best for either side, is what I've noticed. But what's going on? So bishop here, he plays this, and I think G5 felt super wrong to me as I was doing it. Knowing that once they move the bishop out, if I play here, I think that's best. Which I think that's the best move, right? So G4 is a miss. Best was CX V5. So I'm assuming it's that because it's takes, and then here, right? No, that's an inaccuracy. So why is that best? So C takes. Oh, that's a mistake. Knight F6 is better to sack the pawn. Whatever, but let's be honest. He's going to take. And then E4. What? What is happening? E4, bishop E6. Why is this? Okay, he takes here, right? This is a blunder, right? Obviously. No, apparently that's good. So why am I doing E4? Oh, so I could play this. He has to play what, like this, and then I play here. And then it's check. Knight here loses the knight here. What happens? What am I missing? I'm missing something. Knight D7 is a mistake. So it's going to be what? Oh, right. He can't take. Right. So the idea is you want to cut off him coming back. Yeah. See, this is why I need to do. Whoops. I need to do tactics to get better at all this stuff again. Anyway. Go in. G5. G4. And he plays this. I felt like that was a mistake. Knight X C6 was better, it seems, right? Because you got the free knight. I mean, sorry, the free pawn. Taking here is fine, not the best. He plays, I just take, right? And Queen E3, which is what I did. Queen D3, sorry. Yeah, that I don't know why he did that. Okay, so here I'm just playing normal. The rest of this, yeah, I could have played this better. I was looking at this move a lot. I wasn't 100% sure about it. I did see that the queen was protecting it and the rook would be attacking, but I don't know. I felt like this was better. He moved up and then there was just straight up in the mate in 5, right? So the best move was this. That's what I envisioned at first, and that was my instinct, but I couldn't see it. I went ahead and I played that. Here I played this, which is apparently brilliant. Whatever. Plays there. Now knight a3 is excellent, but it wasn't best. Queen e3 was better, right? Just get the queen in. He goes here. There's a pawn push, and then he goes what, here or here, and then how do I mate? If he goes here, my queen is here. I don't see a mate. Maybe this isn't the play. So when he moves here, oh, I think it's what, queen here. Plays this back, and then whatever. Eventually they're getting made. Anyway, at this point it didn't matter. We were way ahead here. But yeah, I'm gonna get away from chess. I think it's always good to get myself. I like to start with chess, get myself my brain just kind of the blood pumping. But we're gonna go ahead and go into our bread and butter, which is gonna be development. I'm gonna do some boot.dev while I'm on here, mostly because I want to finish up. I've been working through these courses on my own for a bit, and I want to finish up the Go course. I'm really excited to do some Go on my own, and there are projects I'm excited to work on using Go. So I want to also do at least one lesson of these a day. I might do more. I might even do a marathon where I do like a full day just to get these done. But where are we? Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so we're still doing learn Go here. Yeah. So we're gonna go in. I'm gonna do these lessons. I'm gonna try to do, like I said, one a day. I think that this is not against terms of service, if I recall. I might need to contact them, seeing if they'll allow me to be creator for this, or they'll sponsor me just to allow me to like do these. But as far as I remember, I think I read somewhere in the guidelines where I'm able to do the courses, because all these are free. I go here to boot.dev. Again, this is not a sponsor. I don't even have any viewers, right? So how can I sponsor? Get sponsored. If you go in here, I think you could demo the learning path. I wish I could skip all this, but okay, if I skip all this, just let me in. No, you still had to sign in. But okay, browsing guest mode. There we go. All these courses are available to the public, and the entire ecosystem is available. The only thing that is hidden, see, all the lessons are available. The only thing that is hidden is the actual ability to submit stuff. So you can see here, you can do this, and you can do these in free mode. Read the lessons, watch the videos. You cannot do in free mode is run the code, submit lessons, and save your progress. View solutions, get help from boots, or unlock game mechanics. It's a free trial of a paid features during the first 3 chapters of boot.dev. Interesting. Oh, so sorry, there is, what am I saying? Not this is, there is. There is a free trial of the paid features. See, this to me, if you have the money, is worth it. It has been so much fun. There was a moment, if I go back to like, let me go to my profile. There's a moment where it was in February, or it might have been last year if I go back, but I don't know, it won't let me go back, where I was just racing against someone. They have these leagues, and of course that person didn't know who I was, and I was just trying to stay in first place for so long. I had to game the system, trying to not lose my potions. So you go in, let's go to continue learning. Right here you have chests that you can do daily and potions available, as well as you have these sprees and armor and all these like little gamified mechanics that allow you to just get more points. And when I was fighting for first place versus whoever, I forgot the person's name, but every day I would log in, they'd have a few more 1,000 points than me, and I just try to beat them. That got me so addicted to this platform for a bit. Unfortunately, I did stop after a while. I think it was the same time. I think it was the beginning of the year when I was doing this, and at the same time I was also doing chess.com daily, trying to keep my streak going. I got up to like a 80 streak, I believe. Anyway, the idea is I'm going to go through these. I'm not going to just look at the solution. I'm going to try to solve them, do it live. If I get in trouble, obviously I'll stop. Hopefully I don't, get called out for this, but go through. We're going to do these, and I might do, instead of just doing one lesson, I'm going to activate the potion and try to complete and get a rare chest. Try to do that every single day until, I complete this course. So that might take, sometimes it takes me the entire hour, but I'm gonna have to probably go a little bit quicker because there are other things I want to do. So maybe the potion might not be the right way for now, for today, because I am just testing out the waters. I'm just trying to figure out how the camera is, how the mic is, and the lighting and everything. I'm gonna just do an easy, or actually I'll do a medium. I think I could do a medium with a potion. Do a medium chest, and we'll do mediums until I feel like I have enough time and I'm able to go quick enough to complete a hard chest. So we'll do a medium. We'll go through all this stuff. I need to remember. I remember when the last time I did one of these gold things were, but I think you probably go back on the lessons and remember how some of this stuff works. But yeah, I'm excited. I actually really want to do this. I need to get this done. I'm not, my company did pay for this, but I'm not going to be able to afford this on my own. If I start, let me see, join 2024. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to afford this on my own. So I definitely want to get at least the Go course done. And they've also added some cool courses as well. If there's time, I'm probably gonna go through the DevOps or the data analytics course. This seems so fun. So I may just do this without the actual I may do this without the paid feature, just because I do enjoy the way that they teach this course. Lane just does a really good job of explaining this stuff. Anyway, it is fun. It is for my own learning, and I want to just get better at this stuff. So let's just get started. We left off and we're learning now interfaces in Go. The last thing I did was what? I think probably, all right, it was structs. We had some structs. And we did some methods inside the structs. So now I'm going to do some interfaces. So interfaces allow you to focus on what a type does rather than how it's built. They can help you write more flexible and reusable code by defining behaviors like methods that different types can share. This makes it easier to swap out or update parts of your code without changing everything else. One thing I do got to get better at is reading out loud and listening to what I'm reading. Sometimes I read this entire sentence out loud and I didn't retain any of it. So I definitely got to get better at doing that. So what are we doing? So interfaces allow you to focus on what a type does rather than how it's built. They can help you write more flexible and reusable code by defining behaviors like methods that the different types can share. This makes it easier to swap out or update parts of your code without changing everything else. So this sounds like similar to interfaces like in TypeScript, where you create the interface and then you just basically define all the types. So when you're creating your actual function or you're creating whatever it is that you're making, you already know what, like what's happening. And you also have the, not the compiler, but you have the interpreter tell you, hey, this is wrong. This is missing something. But let's continue here. So interfaces are just a collection of method signatures. A type implements an interface if it has methods that match the interface method signatures. A type implements an interface if it has methods that match the interface's method signature. So what is it? This is just saying a type implements an interface if the methods match the interface method signature. Is that what we just said? So yeah. In the following example, a shape must be able to return its area and perimeter. Both rect, which is rectangle, and circle fulfill the interface. So it needs to return its area and perimeter. This is the interface, which is a shape. Type rectangle with height. And then within it, they created a method, which gives the area and the perimeter, which means that it does match this shape interface. So what does that allow us to do? Okay, so this creates the shape interface. Type circle radius does the same thing. So now, so basically what that's saying is we're able to use it as a shape in here. So function print shape data, right, which allows us to do something like this. SI area, this is, yeah, it's just interfaces. Because we say, whoops, I need to probably read some of this stuff. So when a type implements an interface, it can then be used as that interface type. We have print shape data. All right, so it's just showing us, it's just printing out here the area and the perimeter. Because we say the input is of type shape, we know that in any argument must implement the area or perimeter methods. Again, so it's similar to what I mentioned before. It's just guarding and making sure that these two methods are inside of rectangle and circle. So when they do use print shape data, they can be assured that these exist and no error pops up. So compiler will pick up like an error if you pass in something that's not a shape into print shape data, or I think the interpreter picks it up before that happens anyway. Before you even get, like, you'll probably get like some red lines on your editor. So where we at? Because we say the input is of type shape, we must, okay, so this is what I just said. An example, as an example, because the empty interfaces doesn't require a type to have any methods at all, every type automatically implements the empty interface written as interface. So when I'm learning and going on these courses and I see that these people, they spend a lot of hours dedicated to curating this content, then I read a sentence like this that seems kind of obvious, right? So we read it again. An example, the empty interface doesn't require a type to have any methods at all. Every type automatically implements the empty interface written as interface with the empty brackets. I always wonder, why did they include sentences like this? Just with this sentence, I'm not sure I'm understanding why this was here, but I know that it's got to be super important for how the language works. So here we go. The interface type that specifies 0 methods is known as an empty interface. This is something I'm probably missing the reason why this is brought up, because I do remember, right? Empty struct go here, struct methods. I believe there's another one about reading about empty interfaces in previous lessons. But that was like months ago now. So whatever the reason for adding that, I'm not sure yet. An empty interface may hold values of any type. Every type implements at least 0 methods. Any is an alias for interface. Oh, okay, so see, that could be a reason why add that sentence so that it could start talking about the any. And the two are completely equivalent. Empty interfaces are used by code that handles values of unknown type. For example, Format print takes any number of arguments of any type. So it's saying that this empty interface is used by like things that don't have type, or that you don't know what the type is going to be. Okay. We'll note that and see how that comes into play. Anyway, I don't even know how long I've been going. I wonder, let me see. Can I check? Does it tell me somewhere easily how long I've been live? Oh, 37 minutes. Okay. So my goal with all of this too is I want to get this portion of this stuff done. So once I do accept this medium quest here, I want to get this done within the hour. And that gives me at least an hour or two for doing whatever other projects I have in mind. So Diggly's is an hour. I need to start being strict with that because as the days go by, I'm not going to be able to spend hours and hours and hours on this. I'm going to want to go ahead and jump into whatever project I'm working on. So without getting any more distracted, what did we just read about? Interfaces in Go. We learned about interfaces in general here. And now it's telling us that the birthday message and sending report structs already have implementations of getMessage method. The getMessage method returns a string, and any type that implements the method can be considered a message, meaning it implements the message interface. So we want to add the getMessage method signature as a requirement on the message interface, which is the first thing we want to do. So we have the message interface. So it's saying send message is going to need to have a get message. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we want to add the get message signature. Is it really just, what is it going to return? A message? Return to string. Okay. So get message. Return to string. I forget here if it's str or string. I'm just going to put string here. So get message returns a string, and it also needs to be a function. I recall, right? Similar to here. And then we want to complete send message function. It should return the content of the message. So message is going to have that get message. I'm assuming there's going to be the content. So I'm just going to return it. And it's going to be what? The message and like 0 or 1 if it's assuming the int here is going to be error code. Complete the blah, blah, blah. I should return the content of the message, the cost of the message, which is the length of the message multiplied by 3. All right, well, I was wrong. Oh, shoot. How do I do length again? This message? Birthday message have? Shoot, I forgot how to do length and Go. Let's go to string. Computed constants and Go, switch statement types, sizes, and Go. No, this isn't what I'm looking for. Obviously, I don't know why I clicked that. It's also not what I'm looking for. I don't remember how to do formatting strings. It's okay. I'll look that up in a second, but notice that your code doesn't care at all about whether a specific message is a birthday message or sending report. I'm just going to do, if I were to guess, what message. Wait, so get message gets us the string. So probably want to save this. Shoot, yeah, I need to remember how to do this stuff. So content, I believe it was like this, and then paste this in. I'm going to do content.length. Hope that works. I don't think it's going to. Because I see format there, I think it's going to be like format.length or something. I forget. I also see time there. I wonder why they chose time. Oh, format is for them. Yeah, I'm gonna run this. I expect this to break. It's not dot length, I believe. Yep, content dot length undefined. Content dot length is undefined. String doesn't have a length. Doesn't have length. So how to get length of string in Go. Oh, it's len. It's kind of like Python. Let's go down to 7. Do len and then content. That should be right times 3. Should be it here. Nice. 2 passed. Oh, before we go, let's submit this here. Nice. All right, we'll move on to the next part. So, interface implementation. Interfaces are implemented implicitly. A type never declares that it implements a given interface. If an interface exists and a type has the proper method defined, then the type automatically fulfills that interface. What? A type? What? Like, what did we just read? A type never declares that it implements a given interface. Okay, so type doesn't declare that it implements an interface. If an interface exists and a type has the proper methods defined, then the type automatically fulfills that interface. Quick way of checking whether a struct implements an interface is to declare a function that takes an interface as an argument. Interesting. If the function can take the struct as an argument, then the struct implements the interface. So, okay, now, is it saying that the compiler is going to yell at us or the interpreter? Like, what is telling us that the struct doesn't implement the interface? Assuming is that it's just the code's not going to work, but we'll see. At Textio, we have a full-time employees and contract employees. Textio is the quote-unquote company we're working on. So that all these Go lessons have started with, we're going to recreate, I believe, a tech service, which is what it was. So the idea is, let me just go back to the beginning of the course. Learn Go, blah, 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 go in, learn Go. Where's Textio? Where's the first message of Textio? Jeez, I didn't even realize I went. Anyway, whatever. Recruit a friend. Where were we? So yeah, Textio is we're on interface, and then we're second one. So Textio is the company we're working at, and we're doing, I believe, text messages. To be honest, when I'm learning this stuff, my goal is really the content or what I'm reading is a fun little mix of what I'm doing, but I'm just taking each lesson one by one. And the way I tackle it, as you saw earlier, is I look at why the author chose to put these things here and what are they trying to teach me. I don't really care about the content like Textio, we're doing this text app, whatever. That stuff is, unless I'm able to see it actually like happen like in video, for me, it doesn't, like if you were doing like a real video game where you're part of it, it doesn't really speak to me when I'm reading it. And it makes sense. I'm not always on boot.dev trying to do a lesson. So when I come back, I forget even what Textio is. But, you know, if I see it and I'm interacting with certain things on the actual screen, that might make it more likely for me to remember what we're doing. There would be a cool version of this where you could do boot.dev, but it's like, I don't know if anybody's seen Dark and Darker. Let me look up Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker. And we go in here. When I think about boot.dev and the style that they're going for, this is what I imagine. You're going into a dungeon. You're fighting different bosses. And you're learning as you go. So if I were to go... Where is it? Bosses right here. Oh, cool. Oh, no, it ended. Oh no, what? Nobody beat this boss. What happened? That's weird. Anyway, one sec. I'm gonna be right back. All right, I'm back. Where was I anyway? I'm surprised they didn't beat this boss. This must be like a glitch or something. What happened with this boss? Okay, yeah, but let's do boot.dev. When did this event come out? There's no way you're telling me only this many people completed the lessons. If I recall, if I go back to the beginning, maybe in leaderboard, yeah, like look at all these people completing lessons. You're telling me that only that many people completed the lessons? Yeah, see, it's people completing lessons. I think something happened with this boss. Anyway, whatever, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, it'd be cool if like I mentioned earlier, like if we had some type of way to do this boot.dev stuff, but also see it in like in an interactive manner. Anyway, I'm like running out of time. Where are we at? We're on like minute 50 and I'm not even close to completing this. So let's just keep moving. I'm not going to stop until I finish this though. So I have 360 already. Let's go through this a little bit quicker. At Texio, we have full-time employees and contract employees. We have been tasked with making a more general employee interface so that dealing with the different employee types is simpler. Run the code. You should see an error indicating the contractor type does not fulfill the employee interface. So yeah, this is what I was saying. So the compiler is going to tell you, hey, this doesn't work. Yeah. Can I use contractor? The value struct type contractor as an employee value. Does it tell you why though? Contractor does not implement employee missing method get salary. Okay, cool. So it does tell you why. Implement get salary. A contractor's salary is their hourly pay multiplied by how many hours they work per year. Do they have get salary for me already? Yes, they do. FT full-time get salary. Where am I implementing this? Is it here? Assuming I'm writing it. Are they going to tell me where? I guess sign doesn't matter. I'll just do it myself. So I'll copy this to save me some time. Changes to get salary. And then I'm returning their hourly pay times. I'm going to fix this. I know I'm missing a C here. C dot hourly pay times hours per year. Again, C. I believe this is enough. As a string? Oh, right. I forgot to change this here. It's going to be int. I'm assuming it's just going to be int. Nice. Go ahead and submit this. Cool. Keep moving. And so what did we learn? Like, if we take a second to think back on this, the only thing we learned was how to read that error message. And we saw what happens if you forget to add the correct method for the interface. Interfaces are already implemented implicitly. Interfaces are implemented implicitly. A type implements an interface by implementing its method. Type implements its method. Okay. Unlike in many other languages, there is no explicit declaration of intent. There is no implements keyword. Right. That makes sense. Because you have like Java where you create a class and then you say this class implements, like let's say you have a class car implements vehicle, and that lets you know that you're implementing an interface. But here they're saying that it implements it implicitly, which is interesting. Implicit interfaces decouple the definition of an interface from its implementation. Implicit interfaces decouple the definition of an interface from its implementation. You may add methods to a type and in the process be unknowingly implementing various interfaces, and that's okay. Why though? I guess it wouldn't matter, right? Because you're decoupling the definition of an interface from its implementation. So what are they saying by decoupling definition of an interface? So saying it does not matter. It's not tied together. The implementation of the interface in the actual interface itself. So how is an interface fulfilled? A type has all the required interface methods defined on it. A struct embeds the interface in its definition. Wouldn't it be a struct embeds an interface in its definition? No. It's this. Type has all the required interfaces. Oh, interface methods defined on it. Right. That's how an interface is fulfilled. Oh, yeah. What am I thinking? This is how it's implemented. No. I guess I'm not sure I'm understanding how an interface is fulfilled. So an interface is fulfilled if you just have its type. I guess it's fine. I'll let this rock for now. Let's move on to the next one. Can a type fulfill multiple interfaces? Yeah, why not? Right? I think that's what this is saying here. You're decoupling the interface with definition. No, sorry, you're decoupling the definition of an interface from its implementation. That's what it is. So an interface is fulfilled once you already have all of those interface methods defined on it. All right. Where are we at? We're only halfway through. Remember, interfaces are collections of method signatures. A type implements an interface if it has all of the methods of the given interface defined on it. Okay, so here we have the type shape interface area. If a type in your code implements an area method with the same signature, so for example, accepts nothing and returns a float, then the object is said to implement the shape interface. Okay, so it's saying that if we have a type that has basically area and returns a float with the same exact signature, then it implements the shape interface. So here we have circle with a radius and float, and then it has area. So this is shape. This is different from most of the languages where you have to explicitly assign an interface type. To an object like with Java. Oh, right. This is literally what we were saying. So class circle implement shape. Go uses keyword to show that a type implements an interface. There is no keyword in Go. No, right? There's no keyword. In the example given, shape type implements the circle type and places a shape interface. Cool. Really simple. Shoot, I'm already like tired as heck from doing all this, man. Doing this at the end of the day, it's tough. I'm more of a morning person when I wake up in the morning. I used to do these live streams in the morning at 5 a.m. and that was the best time to do it, man. Wake up super energetic. You know, start off slow, drink my coffee, and then I'm able to get back into this. But at the end of the day, after you have a full long day, trying to get back into this is going to be a little bit of a adjustment for me, but I'll get used to it. All right, so what are we doing? Multiple interfaces. A type can implement any number of interfaces in Go. For example, the empty interface, right, is always implemented by every type because it has no requirement, which is what we were thinking about before. Oh, interesting. So I guess they mentioned that so you can kind of get the idea of you can have any interface, any type. There's no requirement. So it is not like you can have any number of interfaces in Go. Implement any number of interfaces in Go. So the exact assignment, hold on, let me see. Complete the required method so that the email type implements both the expense and the formatter interfaces. I got super distracted. Anyway, complete the required method so that the email type implements both the expense and formatter interfaces. So I'm adding what these methods, right? So email type needs, email type needs expense and formatter interfaces. Complete the cost method. And then it gives us a bunch of instructions and we're going to complete the format method. Okay. So expense needs cost, formatter needs format. So if the email is not subscribed, then the cost is 5 cents for each character in the body. All right, we'll go ahead and do that. So if does email have what it does subscribe somewhere? It's subscribed, there we go. That is subscribed. Then what do we do? If it's not, else it's 2 cents. So if it is subscribed, it's 2 cents per e.body, and we'll do len. Whoops. We'll do return here. And what is this? 5, I believe. Return the total cost of the entire email in cents. Should be good enough. Now for format, it should return a string in this format. Content subscribed, not subscribed, and then hello world subscribed. So should return, so I forget, it's like format dot or like this, I believe, and then it's what I've been doing like this, the content. Man, I forgot to do this like that, and then I'm gonna have to go back and see how to do this, but it's gonna be e dot body Oops. And then I just saw a bug E over here. E.body. And then E.subscribe. Oh wait, so how do I do this in this case? I guess I'm gonna have to do like some type of if statement here. Subbed. And then it's gonna be default is just this, subscribe. If it is subscribed, we're just gonna change it. And this, I forgot, Go doesn't have these. It's gonna be tough to remember this. So I'm gonna go here, dump this in. Whoops. There we go. Let me go do that. Gotta get used to this keyboard as well. Anyway, so subscribe is here. Man, what am I doing? There we go. Go back and we'll do one of these and then I think this is wrong. I'm putting D. I think D is for like digit, but where was it? For any, I think it was it A for all? X? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm gonna go back for that and just see. And then here I'm gonna do subbed and return it. So I believe this is more or less the structure of the code that they're looking for. I do know this is wrong here. So I'm going to just quickly go just look up formatting strings here. All right, V is for value for any value. And let's fix that. Put V here. V here. And I was right, it was printf. I still feel like this is wrong, but we'll see. It says declared and not used. Why would I say that? Am I doing this wrong somehow? Undefined format. Telling me you're gonna make me define this. All right, import was a format. I think you do it like that, something like that. So that is how you do it, right? But I have to. Let me do one of these. Where are we? There we go. Run it again. Declare but not use sub. Using it here, buddy. Why are you getting mad? Oh, it's going to be declaring it here. There we go. Cool. I think that works. Before I move on, I'm going to just double check this. I didn't really read what I'm supposed to do for format. I just kind of looked at the example, figured it out. But to return a string in this format, so the content, the email is not subscribed. It changes the second part to not. This is the part I didn't read. The single quotes are included in the string and content. The entire. Okay. So yeah, I figured that's what it was. Yeah. So at the end, it also tells you to import format, which is fine. I'm going to submit that. Should be enough. And I think this puts us over. Does it? Do it? No, not yet. Anyway. What was that notification? What did it say? What? Whatever. Next. Consider the following interface. So name your interface parameters. We have type copier interface, and it has copy string int. So it's a method with 2 strings as arguments. This is a valid interface, but based on the code alone, you can deduce what kinds of strings you should pass into copy function. We know the function signature expects 2 string types, but what are they? File names, URLs, raw string data? For that matter, what the heck is that int that's being returned? Let's add some named parameters and return data to make it more clear. This makes sense. Okay, so here it's saying you have type copier interface, source file, destination file, and then bytes copied int. Much better. We can see what the expectations are now. The first parameter is the source file. The second parameter is the destination file. The bytes copied, an integer that is returned. So they're just naming what the actual types are. Cool. Are you required to name the arguments in an interface in order for your code to compile properly? No. Why would you name the interface methods? Readability and clarity, to be honest. Here we go. All right, this one should put us over. I mean, it still is difficulty 4, but whatever. Type assertions in Go. When working with interfaces in Go, every once in a while, you'll need to access the underlying type of an interface value. You can cast an interface to its underlying type using a type assertion. Interesting. So every once in a while, you'll need to access the underlying type. I don't know why you would need to do that later. You can cast an interface to its underlying type using a type assertion. Type assertion provides access to an interface's value underlying concrete value. So This statement asserts that the interface value I holds a concrete type t and assigns an underlying t value to the variable t. I does not hold t. The statement will trigger a panic. This is I does not hold t. The statement will trigger panic. Yo, if you're reading this to someone, like I can imagine reading this like a 7th grader. They'll be like, "What the hell are you talking about? If I does not hold a t, the statement will trigger a panic." Like, can you imagine being just a regular person and hearing that? Anyway, to test whether an interface value holds a specific type, a type assertion can return 2 values: the underlying value and the Boolean value that reports whether the assertion succeeded. So t, oh, okay, so this is like checking if it actually worked. So t, comma, okay, and then you have the interface and the type. Or what did it write? T is the type. So if I holds a t, then t will be the underlying value and okay will be true. If not, okay will be false and t will be the 0 value of type t. And no panic occurs. Note the similarity between the syntax and that of reading from a map. And it makes sense. This is kind of like when you're doing fetches. So if we're looking at the right side here, we have I as the interface for hello. S, oh shoot, am I not recording? Whatever, I use the VOD, I download the VOD. S, wait, am I recording? Nice, I am recording, okay. Yo, I'm so distracted. Anyway, all right, so if we're looking at this, we have the interface of I. It's an empty interface. It has a string hello. And then it is checking s print s. All right, let me run this. So the first thing that gets printed is hello. We do s okay, that should print hello and true. But if you're checking if it has the underlying type, okay. So this is just, again, checking the underlying type. This is similar to, again, if I go think back to JavaScript, when you're doing something like is type of, you can do like type of string or type of float, and that's what you get back. Why does it panic though? Like I hate that it says panic. Panic, interface conversion, interface empty interface is string, not a float. So they're basically saying sometimes you can have an interface, but you want to check what the underlying type. All right. Okay. Got it. Cool. So when working with interfaces in Go, every once in a while, you'll need to access the underlying type of an interface's value. You can cast an interface to its underlying type using a type assertion. The example below shows how to safely access a radius field of S when it is not known that S is a circle. Ah, that's interesting. See, see, this is why I like this example. So we go to shape, right? We have a shape that just has an area. We don't know if it has an area and it's a rectangle and it only has a sides. So we're looking to see if it has a radius. So you have type circle radius and right circle area, whatever, 2 pi, right? 2 pi r squared, right? Then we have print shape info. So we're checking to see if it's a circle. So we do shape, is it a circle? And then we hit OK. So if it's OK, that means it is a circle, meaning that we could do radius is c.radius without it panicking on us. Got it. And then print out that this is a circle. Okay. And I think this just explains it, right? We want to check if S is a circle in order to cast, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is literally what I just said, so I'm just going to skip this. Assignment. Implement the get expense report function. If the expense is an email, return the email's to address and the cost of the email. So we'll do that. If e dot, and we want to check the underlying type. If it's an email, we'll do one of these. We'll do, I don't know what I want to call it. It's just called a T, whatever. T comma OK. If OK, then what are we doing, right? So we want to check if it's an email. We want to return what SI was cost, the to address. All right. E dot, returning E dot to address. What else does email have? The cost function. How are we returning? It's just comma E dot cost. It's an SMS. If, all right, so we want to redo this. I wonder, can we do it like, I know that it's defined up here, but will it get mad at us for doing this now? Test it. All right, so what does SMS have? SMS has to phone number. And I believe this is good enough. Okay, so it does get mad at us for declaring T twice here. We'll call this is SMS. And then we'll call this C, whatever. It does not matter. Then we'll go down. We'll do is SMS. This should be good. Oh, right, but I forgot 7. Ugh, this is so annoying. Let me actually go back because I still want to test whether or not you can do it this way. I really don't like Go not having parentheses around the conditional. It feels, I guess I'm so used to JavaScript, but it feels so unorganized. So it doesn't look like it likes this. E.to address undefined. No new variable on the left side of this. No new variable on the left side of. Right. Yeah, so it needs to be new. Is SMS, I'll just do that. So I'm going to leave these as this. I'm going to do is email. I'm gonna do that here. And then I'll change this to EM. Okay, got mad. I declared EM, but didn't use it. Whatever. EM here. EM here. And then I'll go here. It's going to get mad at me for declaring T and not using it, so I'll do that here. It's missing a return? Oh, right. I didn't do the last one. The last one's return. An empty string and 0.0. All right, cool. Should be good enough. Cool, so that was interesting. So we learned a few things there. We know we can't just redeclare. I didn't expect you to be able to anyway, but that's nice enough. Oh, of course, we're only what, like 37 away. So I don't know. This tells me I probably might want to do the 250 instead of that one, or actually use the potion. I was being greedy there. That we get through it without using a potion. We're at 1 hour and 20 right now, but it's okay. We did start a little bit early too. All right, so we'll do this last one here. Type switch. Looks like it's going to be a switch statement. We're going to learn how to do that. We've done switch statements before. It looks like we can do it with types though this time. A type switch makes it easy to do several type assertions in a series. Type switch is similar to a regular switch statement, but the cases specifically types instead of values. The cases specify types instead of values. So we have like int, string, and whatever the default is. It's kind of cool. Format print tf prints the type of a variable. Okay, so it's telling me how to do the type. After submitting our last snippet of code for review, a more experienced golfer told us to use a type switch instead of successive assertions. Let's make that improvement. Implement the get expense report function using a type switch. If the expense is an email, return the emails to address and the cost of the email. Hold on. Okay, implement the get expense report just here. If expense, so they're telling us to do a switch statement, so we'll do switch. Oh wow, look, they even have like, what is that? Interesting. Oh, so they're saying if I do dot type here, I can do the case string. Okay, I like that. So we don't need okay for that, I'm assuming. Interesting. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. So we have E here. In the case of if it's an email, then we're going to do something. We're going to do if cases in SMS, we're going to do something. And then default, I'm assuming. So if it's an email, return to e.to address, comma, e.cost. The SMS, we're going to do the same thing we did before, which was to phone number. Yeah, this is way more readable. And then otherwise, we're going to return an empty string and then 0.0, assuming. Here we go. Should be good enough. What? Did I misspell default? Default. No, that's how you spell default. Did I miss something here? Oh, you have to do where the type is. So we'll do this. And then we'll do V here. V here. And then same thing here. Oops. V. There we go. Let's try that. Okay. What am I doing wrong? So I think, am I misspelling default? DEA? No, so I'm misspelling default. Case is there. And this is there. So what's the issue? Whatever. I'll do this. Is good. Yeah. And then we'll submit. I'm gonna take a look at the solution. I'm sure I misused default here somehow. I don't know what I was doing wrong. That's basically what I wrote, right? Like if I go back, will it let me go back? It's just bugged out. If I go here, do that. All right, and then we go default. Turn. This is not what I did. I was yelling at me. You kidding me? Like what? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Cool. So we completed the chest. We got some armor. And we got some gems. Now get away from this now. Close this and I'm gonna start with connect my Mac. Do a little bit of just getting started of what I want to work on next. Let's see. Set all this stuff up here on the left. Anything else up? Make sure I'm not leaking anything. Games. I never opened up game with this laptop. Close all this. I also want to do not disturb. Cool. Switch over now. We go. It should all be working properly. Nice. And then I'm gonna do, how do I, there we go. Throw the controls in to here. Why not? Activity feed. Throw that to here, I guess. So all this stuff, man. There we go. Multi-chat. I wish I could throw that in there. Anyway. Cool. All right. So what's next? I think the next part that I want to try is, since I am just testing everything out, I do want to take some time to actually code. And I'm between a few projects. So I'm going to pull up. Let me go on the other screen here and pull up Escaladraw for now. I don't know what's going to show up. I haven't been on Escaladraw for a while. Right. This is me when I was thinking about doing some, like a chessboard. I was just testing out doing some graph stuff on 3JS. But anyway, I have a few ideas of things I want to test out. Let's go here, do this. So ideas. So one of them that I want to do, I want to create a, at least do some research, but I could start it as well, is create a search wrapper for my NeoVim. So basically NeoVim config stuff. Do that. NeoVim config stuff. The idea behind the NeoVim config stuff is I want to make sure that I'm not spending a lot of time outside of my editor. I enjoy using, when I code, I like to stay inside, and a lot of times I have to get out to do some research or even check like what I'm building. Now, switching over to like the browser is fine. It's a different mindset because you're going to check on whatever you coded. But I don't like that whenever I'm coding and I want to just do a quick Google search. Like for example, while I was doing the boot.dev course, I had to just quickly check, how do I check length again in Go? That took me what, like 30 seconds, but then I got bombarded with like AI messages and stuff. I really just want like a Google wrapper where I'm able to just go hit a hotkey, just quickly search on Google, how do I do this one thing, and then just get a few results, a few links back, and see where that leads me. I don't know. The idea is pretty simple, so it could be a good first project to get started on here. It is definitely going to get quickly like super complicated as I go in and I make the idea a reality, but the base idea is there. And I also want to add for that like an AI wrapper as well. I know that there's a bunch, like Cloud Code is one, but I don't know. Anyway, that's one of them. One second. What's the other one? The other one was I could reboot Stratego. It's a project that I tried to make with my friend, where there's this game called Stratego that I played with one of my college friends a while back, and we just had a ton of fun. But when I went on Google and I tried to find like a Stratego game, it was so bad. So me and a group of my friends started making some of that. It didn't go too well, let's be honest. But that's one thing I could do as well. I'm gonna put that there because I did have fun making that. So Stratego again. And then there is the chess idea. So there's a, let's just call it chess app for now. It's a chess app idea I want to make. This is going to lead into a bigger project, but I'm not sure I want to get into that for the first few streams. Stratego also is something I'm not super passionate in right now. I don't want to start this at this moment. It might make sense to do Stratego before the chess app. The search wrapper for NeoVim, that also isn't, to me, in my opinion, a good first idea. Just because I'm going to have to go into Lua. There's not going to be a lot of like, I'm not going to be able to test out a lot of what I would typically do as I code. I think me jumping between screens is important. And just getting the feel of the first few streams of like, what can I record? What can be used for the overarching YouTube video? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the NeoVim wrapper for now. What I'm leaning towards is just portfolio website stuff. I might start it from scratch again for like the 5th time. This one makes more sense because I'm going online. I'm showing my portfolio. It has an overarching story. So I think I'm going to just try that for now and see where that takes me. I have a few ideas of what I want to do with this portfolio website, but it could be good for the first stream. So it is 10. I think I'm going to stop around 11. I'm going to try to push it. But I'm going to set myself up I'm gonna start with the portfolio website, and then I'll go from there. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be back. Let me switch over. Let's do a quick. Be right back. Get some water. Walk around a little bit. There we go. All right. Start up again. Turn on the cam. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. So, focus, focus. What's the plan? All right. Today's stream really is just me practicing, trying to get used to what it's going to be like when I actually start streaming more often. And seeing how the camera setup is, how the lighting looks, and how microphones sound. with that in mind, I don't want to dive too deep into all the different projects that I have in mind. I did create a little bit of a list of things I wanted to do, but it doesn't make sense to jump into anything crazy right now, which means we're going to go back to our tried and true, the one website that I'm constantly updating and never finishing. And I think I'm going to try my best to start over and remake it in a way that I think I'll be proud of. So that website I'm going to go switch over is this one. Where are we? Here we go. This website right here. Yes, cool, awesome, coming soon. This is a website supposed to be my portfolio website. This just leads to my LinkedIn, but I've updated this website a few times, and the more experience I get as a developer, the more higher, I believe, the higher my, how do I want to put this? The more experience I get as a developer, the higher my standards become. And when I first created this website, I actually did it live on Twitch as well. And I was happy with the results. If I go back, maybe I still have it. I don't know if I deleted it. If I go back and I check the other live streams, this is not it. This is something else. Cool, bunch of random stuff. Also, let me do one of these. Note to self, I probably want to not show a bunch of random stuff when I'm in this right here. Probably don't want to show all this random stuff when I'm checking stuff up. But yeah, if I go back and I check on my channel and I look at my previous live streams, go back here. There we go. 4 years ago, I started streaming, and I think I could have sworn I did like a month. Can't believe I only did 5 days. You're telling me I only did 5 days? Anyway, when I was streaming, I had a bunch of stuff set up. Let me see, where are we? Let's go to day 5. Let's see where I ended. Go back here. Right, and I was doing my whole spiel, right, when I was talking about how you create websites and how you do these things. And if I go here, where are we? If it ever loads, let's see. So am I on the, let me see if I'm on the right Wi-Fi here. Hold on. I am on the right Wi-Fi. Why is it so slow? There we go. I had to refresh it. Whoa, I could have sworn I did way more than this. Anyway, go back here. All right, so I was coding out a lot of the stuff on my own, and I was basically recreating a Figma I made before. And I eventually did finish this, but I didn't like the way it looked, and I'm gonna try to redo this kind of stream as well, when I'm figuring this stuff out and I'm doing a lot of like research on what I want to do and how I want to make my portfolio. But I'm gonna skip a lot of this stuff that I did before. I think a lot of the stuff isn't necessarily necessary. Start the music over again. I don't think a lot of the stuff that I did before was super necessary. I want to create a simple portfolio and just get it up there, so I have something that's better than what I have now, which is just coming soon. The purpose of this website really shouldn't be something where I go in and I try to show off my skills. I don't think that's where we do that. We do that when we show off the projects. I do have work that I want to show off that I'm going to have to, part of segments that I'm going to build, but I'm not sure how I want to do that on the website yet. One thing is for sure though, when I do update my resume and I start putting my website on the resume, this can't be what we show. So regardless, I have to update this and put something new. So I'm going to go over to Figma and I'm going to just start by recreating, have an idea of what I want. And I don't think it's too difficult. So let me see. Go here. Figma. Shout was another idea we had. Never finished, but that's okay. This one was going to be fun. Wow, we did a lot of work back then. Anyway, Figma has gotten greedy, by the way. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to probably add whatever I'm looking at to an existing project, but let's see. I need to get out of here. I want to make a new project. Back to files. I think I added to brainstorming. What even is this? All right, this is when we were brainstorming some ideas. Get out of here. Hold on. Figma. There we go. It's here. Brain map. I dumped a bunch of random stuff. No, did I lose it? I might have lost it. No way. All right, whatever. Let's add a new page. And we're going to just call this portfolio. And let's see if I could find this. If I go to Google, New York City, vaccine records, infants. So something like this, but this isn't exactly it. Well, see if I could find it. If I can't find it, I might have to show my own, but what is this form? Maybe if I could go over to Dribble. Did find something similar to what I wanted in Dribble. Records. Not these type of records. I want to do like web design. And I gotta send it to Dribble again as well. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to get the basic design of what I want for my website and what I'm trying to show. Can't believe I lost it. Hold on. I'm looking. Is this it? This is close, but let me see. I'll give it a few more minutes here. Let me see if I go here. Is it a list? Is it because there's some shots? Designers? No. Let's do lists. There it is. Okay, this right here. I'm going to copy this image. Throw this in here. Wow. Perfect. Okay. So growing up, there was a vaccine record that we were given. And all infants in New York City get this. And recently, I saw this again. I didn't know they were still doing this, but I saw this again. And I had the idea that I want to try and recreate this for a website. Keep it really simple. In the future, I'll probably show off my actual vaccine card that I still have. I'm not going to do that right now, but I want to create a website to that effect where I imagine literally something like this you go into the website, you see this here, and then I just have my project and then my experience and then about me, whatever it is, shown in this kind of structure. I don't know what this is called though. That'd be helpful, right? To figure out what this is called. This is a good time to use. This is one of the times it might make sense to like AI for this, but see if I could paste this in here. It's gonna let me paste or not. Let's get the image link. There we go. What is this? Typeface? Parts list typeface? What is this called? Parts catalog? No, it's something like this. Inter office envelopes. That's getting closer. It's like an inventory tag. Yeah, like what are these things called? Vintage font parts? No. Yeah, what is this? Colored inventory tag. Wow. Who's this Beth Matthews, by the way? My grandfather, Board of Education, City of New York report card. This is what I mean. Like, I like this old school kind of style. I might even actually, let me copy this. Copy image. I'm going to dump this in here. This could be good for like an about page. I'm not showing the vaccine record because it's going to dox the hell out of me probably. It also right now holds my social security card, so probably don't want to show that either. I'm like, right, this is also just a small part of the segment as well. I'm still figuring out if this setup that I have is still going to work, but I do like the idea of this kind of old school typeface, this old school parts list type of, like, I need to figure out what this is called. It's not parts list, is it? Old parts list, machine manuals, blueprints, technical diagrams. Let me look up parts lists. Close this. Parts lists. So we are getting somewhere. Yeah. So that is kind of what this is. Parts list envelope, maybe. Oh. No. Yeah, like that. Cool. So I guess it's a parts list envelope, but it's more like an inventory system, something like this, I'm assuming. And I want to mimic that on a website. So I'm going to start new. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just start by just creating the website itself. Eventually, I want to animate the hell out of this stuff too. Like I can imagine this popping up and then opening up like an old envelope would. In order to do that though, I'm going to need, I don't know if I want to make it 3D or not. I kind of want to make it 3D. Like I imagine this scene right here. If I go over to YouTube and I search up, what is it? Super Mario 64 opening scene. Where is it? Right here. And then, right, so she talks about, oh, what? No? Could have sworn this there was like a Wow. The things that your minds add. Isn't that crazy? I could have sworn that this was like something that opened, like an envelope opened and then closed. And then it flew across the screen. But no, I guess I must have imagined that. Maybe there's a different clip of that happening. But yeah. Wow, I can't believe that that's not what happened. It really didn't open? Like, wasn't it like a... No. Let's check another one. Yeah, it really didn't open. That's crazy. Anyway. I imagine this popping up and kind of like flying onto the screen, and then you click on it, it opens, and it shows like a list of projects, experience, and so on and so forth, right? I don't want to make it so crazy and super fancy. At the very beginning, it could just be this exactly as it is here. Not this exact design. I want to look at other examples, and then some links. I also want to get rid of the gimmick as well. I don't want it to always start like with some fancy design, some fancy animation. I like the idea that you get to choose if you want to go into this world. So I'm gonna try to also make a basic version of it. Maybe something like this could be like a basic version of it. But all these typefaces, I want to make sure I record and get. Beth Matthews, I might even buy this typeface for this if it's cheap, right? I'm not gonna waste a ton of money on stuff. But we'll grab this for now, and I want to just start the prototype of it. I'm gonna, for at least the next 20 minutes, just start up a project, see what it might look like, and then I could worry about the details later. So again, I just wanted to do a little bit of coding for the first stream and see how that works out. So we're gonna go in, let me make this stuff bigger. Go here. I'm gonna just leave this here for now. I'm gonna go into localhost. Eventually that's gonna work, right? And I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna do Next.js, to be honest. I don't wanna do anything crazy here. Zoom this in a little bit. Let's go ahead and into FTLC here. What do we have in here? Right. There's also some stuff. These are like some ideas of what I wanted to do as well. Anyway, let's create next app. What is it? npx create next app. Next app. Let's use the latest version. What do I want to call this? I'm not going to call it portfolio again, right? Let's call this parts list. Let's call this folio. I like that. Yes, it's got the latest version. No, I like to customize my own settings. I do want to use TypeScript. I want to get you more used to using TypeScript. Very ESLint we want. React compiler's cool. I don't like Tailwind. I don't want to use source directory. Yes, I want to use the app router. No import aliases. And no, I don't want agents MD. We'll let that compile, and then we'll start thinking about. We probably might need to get some of the colors going. Definitely want to do Sass, so we're going to do npm install Sass. Oh, should be save dev. So npm. There we go. Cool. Let's run it. Is it developed? Really? No, isn't that this? Oh, wait, I forgot. Ugh, I always do this. Package. Whoa. ls. Okay. Wait. ls/lah. Okay, cool. We're good. Folio. Install Sass. Save dev. Should be good. We're gonna go in eventually. And let's go ahead and just start this. See how that looks. Also, I'm gonna want to get rid of all that random stuff, but here's the beginning of it. All right, this is what you get by default when you start a new next project. I'm gonna remove everything. I hate using the default stuff. Usually just gets in the way. IFCE. Go. And then cool. I'm gonna make this SCSS. And then anything else I need to change in here? Globals. I'm gonna just, I don't like, I kind of like having these here. I'm gonna just comment them out for now. Oops. Comment them out for now. We might reuse them later. See, what I like about using these is I could just take kind of the same structure and update these with my own background, my own foreground, and then I have like dark mode and light mode at the very least. But I'm gonna be serious about this project. I probably need to create my own like system with the different styles, like my own mix-ins, my own responsiveness, and my own themes. For now, again, I'm just gonna go for the basics. This is gonna be prototype. I am gonna make it live because it's better than coming soon. But I'm just gonna brute force the hell out of this to get it to work, and then I'll come back and I'll create a little bit of a system for how I'm gonna make this work in the first place anyway. So for now, we'll do that. Let me go over here and switch this over for a second. Cool. Let's get to some coding, right? We have this up and I want to decide here. Like what's the structure? How do I want to like set this up? Let me think. I do think it'll be easier if we use something like GSAP or what is it? GSAP for the animations. Right? Because this is more or less what we want. Something like this where it's fluid. Might need to create my own like parts list as well, just to be able to animate it. So I'm thinking of like what is right now for today's purposes, what is mandatory? I think I'll just put my name on there. I don't want to get too deep into it, right? Because it's only 13 more minutes. So I want to start thinking about the structure of how I want to build everything out. Maybe I'll get the dependencies up. I'll get some GSAP stuff working. Do I want to use GSAP? Let me see. Showcase tools. There's the UI, text. GSAP and React is what I want to look at. Use GSAP hook. I think I'll just use GSAP for now. Right, because the alternative is this is what I actually want to use. React Free Fiber. Now, what is the animation library here though? What is this? Let's see this. Ooh, this is clean. See, even something like this is similar to kind of the vibe I'm going for. I want to make it where it's like the portfolio itself. Let me set this up. So I'm gonna dump this in here. right? So you can see here, top, this is a lot of the website itself is centered and the objects are moving around. I want something similar like that for this, where it's like the website, you're not necessarily scrolling. Yes, when you do scroll, things happen, but you're staying fixed in one point. So it might make sense to actually use React 3 Fiber. I think I'm going to just set up React 3 Fiber and try to do something like this where I'm able to scroll and things happen. Let's go back. Just install React 3 Fiber. And it's compatible with React 18, 19, works with React DOM, blah, blah, blah. Fiber's first rendered must pair major versions. Cool. We want Next.js, so we'll go ahead and do all of this stuff. Let's go ahead and do this now. Install. Okay, it got mad at me. Why? We'll do that. Install. Cool. And then it said Next.js 3 or better. We need to add this to the config. Where's the config? There we go. And we want to do what? Transpile. Whoa, 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 whoa. Relax, relax. This is why I don't like using it sometimes. I don't want all this. Just want 3 here. There. Cool. Without build tools, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we'll do... I'm going to just copy the first scene and see how that works out. There's canvas. Right, this is where you get the, like, the geometry stuff here. I want this here. I've done a lot of this stuff already. In previous projects, let's just set this up here. So I'm not gonna add all this inside of here. I'm gonna create a canvas. I think we need to do, let's call this 3D. I'm gonna do a 3D folder, or call it canvas folder. So everything's gonna, within the canvas, gonna go in there. Let's call it a 3 folder. And then we'll do canvas. My canvas work will go in there. All right, so my LSP is yelling at me because probably I don't have... What? How is it not declared? What are we talking about here? Something's up here. I don't know why it's so mad at this. Did I copy it all? It did. I bet you it still works. Go over here. Export default app. What? What's going on? Canvas. Import this canvas as C. Call this C. C. I mean, this is all kind of unnecessary here. I'm not even gonna lie. But it's okay for now. Why is it getting mad at this? So we have this here. Function, canvas. This should be fine. Return is fine. Okay, let's get rid of this. C refers to a value, but it's being used as a type here. Okay. How do I do the types again? Let's do, whoops. TypeScript. There's like a thing I need to add, a package. Typing with user, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Type script. This is it. Function canvas props. Canvas props are not called canvas props for clarity. Okay. Getting started. Installation. Types. Is there anything about types? There's like a package I think I need to add. I forgot. Let me see. I think I added it before. React 3 ESLint plugin. Is that what I added? Fiber. Is this it? I feel like that's wrong, but we'll see. Let's do ESLint here. Yeah, that felt like it was wrong. Let me go ahead and remove that. React 3 Fiber ESLint. I think it's the same thing. TypeScript React 3 Fiber. All right, whatever. Let's actually look at this and try to figure this out. So we'll go up. Import canvas from React 3 Fiber is fine. Let's leave that there. I'm gonna name this. Let's go ahead and do one of these. No. Go. Let's do function canvas. I'll still call this C for now. I don't really care. And then where's it get started? Getting started. I literally, if I'm able to just get this running, I won. Right? That's how I feel. Cool. So you have the app, they add the canvas and they add a bunch of meshes and stuff. So function, canvas. I'm gonna do, whoa, relax. Export default. Oops. Default canvas. What? How do I keep misspelling default? I don't understand. Cool. So we have C here. Brother, let me use C. Return C. Why are you getting mad at me? A type expected. Oh, must be because of this, huh? Fiber C. It's mad because I don't have a type. I forget. How the hell do I do this again? That's why I always going back after not using TypeScript for a while and then I'm freaking on React. That it annoys the hell out of me. Whatever, we'll figure this out. It needs a type. I literally just did this yesterday, so whatever. Let's see what happens if I don't ignore it. I want to see if it even just works. Sometimes, yeah, the linter is mad, but it could still work. Let's try it. Yeah. I can't find any of the stuff because I didn't import any of the stupid types. Is like, I gotta install the types so that the linter can see it. What happens if I just run it? Am I in the right place again? No, I'm not. Folio. So it should yell at me. Didn't yell at me. Right, because I didn't even add it. Let's go ahead and add it to the page. Right. Indent what? All right. Privacy refers to. What's it mad about? It's mad about args? Really? Alright, I gotta figure out this stupid TypeScript thing. Let's do that now. I was trying to avoid it, but whatever. TypeScript, React, 3 fiber. What is that? I don't want to add that. No, it was not this complicated. I remember I had to do like type something. npm install. I don't think it's that. It was like types. Yeah, it was types 3, I think it was. And then it stops yelling after I do like LSP restart. Yeah, there we, okay, no, it's still yelling at me, but it was something like that. I had to get like the types. And then, oh wait, am I even running the freaking server? All right, it's still gonna yell at me, I know that. Whoops, that's not it. Okay, it still does not like this. Yeah, let's try something else. I'm gonna go ahead and do. This is React 3 fiber, right? This is it? No, this is GSAP. First scene. I'm gonna try just make this my first scene for now. Oops, there we go. Let's copy this, paste this in here, save. Like, see, why does it not get mad here? It should be getting mad here. Like, where's all my dumb... Oh my god, are you kidding me? This is really why. Hold on. Is it really this? No freaking way. That's why I hate React sometimes. Anyway, whatever. Let's go over here. Nope, this is not it. This is it. Alright, cool. At least it's still mad. I'm glad. Can't resolve React 3 fiber. Should, right? I have it in the package JSON. Whoa, buddy. Kidding me? I didn't even download it. All right. Right, client. Do that now. Man, sometimes you just spend the most time doing the simplest things. That was it. That was literally it. That's it. Cool. So I had the scene. I wanted to add it with the animation for now. Where's the one? Didn't they have one with like the spinning one? Getting started, is it here? What? Maybe they changed it. They had like a spinning animation where there's like two of these and they're spinning. What? Did they remove it? Is it this? Yes, it's this one. All right, so I'm gonna throw this one in and just see what it looks like. Now again, I expect all this to break. I want to fix it as it breaks. Use client. Cool, we're not doing create root. We're not doing, we probably need to use ref stuff. Canvas needs to be as C for now. Use frame will be needed. Don't need styles. Pop's gonna get mad at me. We could just do whatever. Just stop yelling. I don't care about TypeScript stuff. I'm not really worried about at this moment. This can be null. Stops yelling. What happened here? TypeScript something? Whatever. Ignore all of it for now and change this to C. Don't need create root. Don't need the render. Just need to return this. Come down here. Get one of these. And then do export default canvas. And then here, change this to canvas. Cool. Did I change it to C? I did change it to C. All right, so I may have rushed this, right? I think canvas was down here and imported box, which means this needs to stay box. Fine. But this one was the one that was supposed to be the function. Canvas, there we go. Cool. We'll close this for now. There we go. It's that simple. Go ahead. Import canvas.module.css. No, I don't want to do any of this. I gotta lie to you. I don't want to style any of this again. I'm just trying to like get used to streaming again. Just get used to like what we're gonna do and see if like the mic even freaking sounds good or not. Nice. What is this? Yeah, see, like right now, I'm looking at my phone, right? Because I want to see like how to manage the stream stuff. And I can't even figure out how to check the chat. The hell? Like, this should be so much easier. All right, we don't want to do email only. We don't subscribe. I don't even know. Can I even have subscribers at this point? Auto mod in chat, channel blocks terms, readable colors, animated emote, GIFs. Oh, okay, cool. So you could literally swipe over to quick actions. I don't want to do any of this stuff though. Follower only chat. How do I get rid of that? Off. Remove follower only restriction. Yes. Cool. Oh, cool. You could do like even predictions and stuff. All right. All right. All right, so the idea still stands, right? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to go in here. I want to make this pop up. So maybe, I don't know. How do I want to do this? All right, like let's mess around with some of these boxes here and change the shape and try to make it something similar to what we might see. We could also smooth it out later as well. I wonder if I can add like an SVG in here. I want to create this myself, but we don't have to go super crazy into this, but we'll go in. Let's see. Let's take a look at what box has. Box geometry 1 and 1. Let's make this 10. Let's make this way bigger. 10. I wonder if these arguments are the position or if this is the size. I refresh here. Might be the position. Let's see. Undo. Save this. So what is... Alright, so why is it when I did... Okay. Oh, you just can't see it because probably the canvas is too small or wherever it is. Yeah, the position is 1010. Oh, that's the spotlight. No, so the box itself, it's positioned here. I don't think I want to mess with this just yet. Anyway, I'll save this as it is for now. Start. I think playing along with this will help me eventually make this. One of the things I can jump into maybe next time is like seeing how they created this. I can see like what little things they did in order to be able to get what I want eventually, which is this, right? So something I can work on next time, but for now, I think that was okay and good enough for like the first test stream. Right, I don't know exactly, like, again, if the mic sounds good or not, or like what the hell is even like happening. See, like, here's the thing, right? Like, I want to check. So it says I have one viewer, right? When you go in to check, can't you just see who that one viewer is? See, that's what I'm not understanding. See, that's what I'm not understanding. There we go. Let's close this. Right, because I know the one viewer is me. I'm not dumb. But see non-mod settings. Chat highlights. Chat appearance. No. Whatever. I'll figure that out later. Anyway, I think that's good enough for where we are. Let's see how this looks. I'm gonna rewatch the recording, fix up some of the sound setup, and then try again tomorrow. Cool. Let's get out of here. How do I even stop stream? Stop it. How do I stop it?